You ever wake up thinking today's the day your life finally quiets down, and by nightfall, you realize you just set foot in the craziest, most ridiculous battle of your entire existence? Because the morning I moved into my so-called dream home, I figured the universe was finally cutting me some slack, you know? I had the keys, the view, a 12-year-old son who still halfway liked me, and a pool I designed with my own two hands. Yeah, that pool. But less than an hour in, I'm staring down at a bunch of strangers splashing in it, led by a woman who acted like she owned the whole damn block. That's how it all started. And let me tell you, if you think property disputes are boring, buddy, buckle up. I'm about to take you through fake maps, lawsuits, HOA mafia moves, and the kind of neighbor drama that'd make you think twice about buying into the American dream. So picture this. First afternoon, Arizona sun bouncing off glass and stone, boxes stacked high in the garage, my son Trevor still dragging around the last bits of his childhood like armor. I hear him yell, "Dad, there's people in the backyard." And sure, I think landscapers, right? Nope. Two women I've never seen are sunning themselves like it's a hotel. One has her sandals off, toes in my water, three kids cannonballing like it's the 4th of July. And this lady, short blonde bob, hands on hips, she goes, "You must be the new owner." I'm Karen, HOA president. She says it like she's expecting a standing ovation. I keep it polite, at first. She tells me, dead serious, that my pool is obviously a neighborhood amenity since it's right by the park. We figured we'd break it in before it gets cold. She laughs, but I'm not laughing. I point out the fence, the property line, explain, calmly, that I paid for every square inch. She stares at me, arms crossed, and says, "Well, you shouldn't have built a pool next to a public space if you didn't want people to use it." You know what I mean? I'm floored. She demands I show her my deed. First day in the house, where she's calling the HOA legal office. I can't decide if I'm being pranked or this is just HOA on steroids. Trevor, clutching a box of charger cables, mutters, she's like a Disney villain, but with a gym membership. Karen gathers up her little squad, makes a point of telling me, this isn't over. And sure enough, next morning, there's a sign zip-tied to my gate. Official-looking, blue Helvetica. Community pool access under review. Inquire at HOA office. It's not a prank. There's a logo and everything. I rip it down, fire off emails to the HOA, the police, even the local blog that covers lost cats and garden gnomes. By 2 p.m., I get a call from a deputy who, bless him, is trying hard not to get dragged into the madness. "Sir, without footage or witnesses, it's probably a miscommunication." "Right. Funny." I tell him. "Seems like Karen's got a PhD in miscommunication." He sighs. Clearly, I'm not the first to complain. Later that day, the clipboard mafia shows up. 5 retirees, semicircle on my driveway. One launches a drone over my backyard, filming like they're National Geographic. "HOA amenities review," says one guy, mirrored sunglasses. "Just documenting disputed spaces." I try to reason with them, no dice. They say Karen claims my property line is under review. I record everything, post it to the neighborhood Facebook group, and within hours, it's a digital war zone. Comments flying, half the neighborhood venting about their run-ins with Karen. Gnomes, mailbox paint, you name it. That evening, Trevor and I are grilling out back, trying to ignore the drama, when I hear voices by the park. Karen, kids, and a young couple climbing through the landscaping gap. I flip on the floodlights, announce loudly, "You are trespassing. This is private property." Karen doesn't miss a beat. "We just wanted to finish our swim. My guests are from out of town." I tell her about the cameras. She threatens the HOA again. Something about community access tradition. I call the sheriff, who arrives, sighs, tells everyone to clear out while he sorts jurisdiction. Karen grumbles about implied easement. That night, I upload another video. The comments double. And then, radio silence. I start to think, maybe, just maybe, the Facebook drama shamed Karen into backing off. But Saturday, I get served. A man in a beige vest walks into the diner, hands me a lawsuit, encroachment, misappropriation of common space. Words like historic subdivision rights, unlawful privatization, all filed by Karen and her HOA war chest. Within hours, screenshots are flying around the neighborhood group, people picking sides. I call my attorney, Laura, a legend, cool as ice. She's seen it all before. Let me guess, 1986 plat map, she says. She gathers my title, survey, everything. My claim is airtight. Doesn't matter. The county issues a temporary injunction. My pool, my own backyard, is off limits until this is resolved. I stand there staring at the water, thinking about every tile, every night I spent designing this place, and I just feel numb. So I call the local paper. Reporter shows up, writes a story. HOA fires back with press releases about community values and historical ambiguity. Meanwhile, Karen stares at my house from the park trail like she's won a chess match. But I'm done playing defense. Laura files a countermotion, lack of jurisdiction, outdated evidence, you name it. She hires an engineer for a new survey, a digital forensics expert for the maps. Karen wants a war of paperwork. She picked the wrong nerd. Mediation day is like a fever dream. Fluorescent lights, Karen dressed like she's running for Congress, her attorney Rick trying to impress with a faded map from the 80s. As you can see, the HOA's common area actually extends into your lot, he insists. Laura pulls out a current, time-stamped, color-coded GIS map from the county. Case closed. Rick barely looks at it, tries to pivot to implied easement. Laura shoots him down. Karen claims building a private pool by a public trail is exclusionary. I tell her, that's the point. It's private. The mediator looks ready to quit. Here's where the twist kicks in. We get an anonymous call. A board member, Mark Dixon, says Karen pressured everyone to back her lawsuit, threatened to expose compliance issues in their own yards if they didn't. He brings us a folder of emails. Karen strategizing, talking about leaning into ambiguity, planning to stir up confusion with signs, Facebook posts, everything. It's not a legal case. It's a disinformation campaign. Laura files the emails and forensic analysis with the court. The next escalation. The HOA sends a landscaping crew to restore community aesthetics on my side of the property. I stop them, show the court order, call the cops. Karen watches from her car, sipping coffee like it's Sunday morning TV. The officer asks if I want to file for harassment. Laura files a motion for sanctions, bad faith litigation, evidence tampering, the works. Karen's attorney quits. The board calls an emergency meeting. Karen's a no-show. When the judge finally hears it all, fake maps, doctored evidence, emails spelling out Karen's scheme, he doesn't hesitate. He dismisses the case, orders the HOA to pay my fees, refers the matter to the county prosecutor. Karen's presidency is suspended, the board is in chaos, and suddenly there's no money left for landscaping, no glossy newsletters, nothing. The HOA falls apart. Residents vote, overwhelmingly, to dissolve it. Karen's empire, which once controlled every mailbox and mailbox color, vanishes in a week. But Karen isn't done. We file a civil suit for defamation and distress. She tries to dodge the process server, but it's too late. Her own devices get subpoenaed, and it turns out she's been running surveillance, keeping dossiers on neighbors, trying to strong-arm a retired city clerk into handing over old files. The story blows up, local news headlines, poolside power trip, how one woman tried to redraw the neighborhood. HOA members scatter, half the board resigns, and a city audit finds a decade of funny money, fake outreach initiatives, phantom landscaping projects, all paper trails leading back to Karen. Eventually, her house goes on the market, well-maintained colonial near green space, no mention of the reign of terror. She moves out, the civil case settles quietly, the check covers my legal bills, my therapy, even a father-son trip to the Rockies. I come home, fix up the yard, put up a new sign, private property. Not part of HOA. Trespassers will be sued. Nobody touches it. A couple months later, I'm grilling out back, neighbors wave, ask about the hedges, and for the first time, I offer them a beer, through the fence of course. It doesn't feel like I'm defending a fortress anymore. Arizona Today runs a story, headline reads, "The Man Who Beat the HOA." I keep a copy under my grill, just to remind myself what it takes to keep the peace. See, some people build walls, but I built a pool. And in the end, turns out a pool can be the best damn moat in the world. You want to talk right and wrong, justice and community? Tell me, if you were in my shoes, would you have backed down? Or would you have gone all the way? Because let me tell you, sometimes the only way to win is to outlast, outthink, and never, ever give up on what's yours. So, what do you think? Where's the line between community and control? Where does justice really live? In the paperwork or in the way we stand up to bullies? Drop your take below. I want to hear how you'd handle your own neighborhood nightmare.